Hi everyone, this is Chika, I'm a saxophonist. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. It is 6 p.m. over here in Los Angeles, and I'm in my office in the university that I teach at. And today I thought I would just update with what's going on with where I am and what I'm going to be doing over the summer, and also what am I going to be doing for the next couple weeks. There are a couple like interesting, fun events happening, so I thought I would share that. So I hope you're doing well, and I'll try to, if anybody joins and if they say hi, I'll try to say hey. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, it's going to be a fun event. I'll see how long this will last. I'm usually, when I'm doing these live chats, I was, talking with somebody. So yeah, this is actually my first time doing all by myself. So it's going to be an interesting one, I think. So all right, so happy June. June is a very special month for me. That is my birth month. So I'm going to have my birthday very soon, and I'm very excited about it. I'll be spending some time in Los Angeles, I'm sure, during my birthday. Okay, so let's see what I have. So yes, I'm going to be talking about what I'm going through right now. So I came back to Los Angeles from Japan after staying in Japan for 2 years, and actually 1 month. So March of 2020, when COVID hit, and my university that I teach at said, we're going to close the campus, and you have 2 weeks to convert your courses online, and we're going to see how that goes. And yeah, we waited about a week later, and it just seemed like the world was just halting at that point. So I thought, I will just take a chance and go back home, which is Japan. My family is in Osaka and my partner's in Kyoto, so I thought, you know, it's going to be worth going back for me, and I was able to continue my work from there. So I did that for the past 2 years. I did come back for 2 months last year in 21 for March and April to clean up my apartment, because basically I just, I didn't know what was going on back in March 2020, and just dropped everything, left the apartment as is, and left. So last year in 21, I came back and cleaned up the place, left, and went back to Japan again, because that was the time. It wasn't under lockdown, but my school that I teach at was still going online. So yeah, there was no reason for me to stay. So yeah, I went back to Japan, and then I finally got to come back in April 25, from Osaka to Los Angeles. And the first reaction I had was so interesting. Well, that was one of like the fastest custom I've ever experienced. I have global entry pass, so before I had to put the global entry card or either the passport and go through the gate. But this time, I don't know what I did. I think I just scanned my passport, and the custom was just over. So it was almost like there was nobody in line, and it just went through. And yeah, I got out, and wow, I could not believe how the people were not wearing masks at all. Because in Japan, I would say 99%, almost 100% of the people are wearing masks. And yeah, just couldn't believe how I get to see everybody's face, like the complete face. And that was something very extraordinary, since I've never seen that. So people who are driving in LAX to pick up people, and also people who are getting picked up, a lot of people were not wearing masks, although I was coming out of the international terminal, so a lot of international passengers were still wearing masks, but still yeah, there was a lot of people without masks. So I was like, wow, okay. So, hi, Joe Black. I teach at California State University, Dominguez Hills, which is a little south of downtown Los Angeles, 20 minutes south of downtown Los Angeles, located in Carson. Thanks for asking. So yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that, especially since my friends were telling me that, um, you know, wearing mask is not really required, and you know, that's just how it is here. So I assumed it, but I didn't really feel it until I came back here. So that was an interesting experience. And yeah, I've been back for a little over a month now, but I would say it's been great. I was able to teach in person for the past 1 month. The school just ended this past last week on Tuesday. The grade was due last Tuesday, but finally being able to see my students and teach in person, and yeah, I've been catching up with a lot of my friends who I haven't been able to see for the past 2 years or even more. So it's been very lovely and catching up. And but wanted to let you know during this YouTube that I am really back, because sometimes we're all busy, and you know, you can't really keep up with where is everybody. So just want to let you know that I am back in Los Angeles, and I would love to reconnect with you, since I haven't really been able to get together with anybody here. Okay, so that's where I am, and I had a very special purchase that I made back in March in Japan, and which was the new saxophone, and this is called the Henry Selmer Paris's new model of alto saxophone called the Supreme. And I would say this is one of like my best purchases I made for the saxophone, since I would say the alignment and also the how the tuning of the saxophone is so like in the middle. You know, I had series 3 before, and I still have it, and that has become my backup horn. But there wasn't anything wrong with that horn. I just had, and I love that color, and I still love playing that horn. But I realized this horn is like at a whole nother level. Um, just so much easier. I don't have to try so hard to do the tuning, and yeah, it's I love the new mechanism here. Is that they are bound by this ring over here that binds the horn and the neck together, and that sort of creates this nice airflow. In series 3 that I had was, you know, the neck and the body was separated, and there wasn't anything binding it. There's a screw, but the binding portion was a little slightly different. So I could tell this is one of their newer invention. And also, I don't know, I'm not a technician, so I can't really speak about what they actually did to do the evenness of the horn. But yeah, it's so much clearer, and it has some depth to the horn. It has some like this core that it just gives a nice timbre. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get on the road soon and perform with this horn. I have been playing and practicing on it, but not quite full on like how I used to since I've been back. So I hope that I can share that live, and also I'll be sharing a couple videos here and there on my YouTube. So I hope that you get to see some of that on my channel. And I'm still using the same setup, the Van Doren mouthpiece reed ligature, And I must say, I've been using this strap. It's called the Breathtaking from Japan. It's made out of genuine leather, and it doesn't constrain the neck like how the usual saxophone neck strap would, where it goes over here. I see a lot of, at least here in the United States, I see a lot of like middle schoolers and high schoolers who start off their instrument use one of those. I'll show you. One of these neck straps, like that would get on the neck, and yeah, playing this for a long time is not that comfortable. So this neck strap really allows players to play longer. The sound improves. It opens up the chest. And interesting enough, Van Doren recently came up with the bar, something that looks similar to this, that can be attached onto the Van Doren neck strap. So yeah, this bar method is very unique, but I think a lot of strap companies are, or at least the companies who are making straps are catching on to the idea of the bar, so that it will lift up the chest, to lift it up here. Now, I'm super excited because one of my students recently purchased this strap, and yeah, it's not a really easy decision to make this purchase, because first it cost over, I would say, $200, and yeah, it's not an easy purchase. For mouthpiece, maybe 200 should be in a way comparable, but for neck strap, I feel like traditionally it hasn't really been something that you would spend so much money on. So yeah, my student was like, I did tell him, like, you'll be playing from here on, and you have this, it's one of the best upgrade to your performance and the sound that possibly improve. So he thought about it, and he thought about the long-term effect of it, and I'm very happy that he finally got his. And I haven't really, it was this past week that he purchased, and the school was over, so I wasn't able to see him with his. But yeah, what's so interesting about this neck strap, it's called the Breathtaking, and it's definitely breathtaking. I have this thing called Wrap Lift, and it's so much more comfortable playing on this strap. It almost like one of those this like lifter. You can put it on your tote bags or something, and then it'll lift up the shoulder a little bit higher, and it'll make it comfortable. So yeah, this is what I've been using. And a lot of Japanese players, including a lot of young players, middle school and high school, I see them use this comfortable neck strap, and I'm really hoping that it'll take off in America and Europe as well, because we really have to think about our body when we're playing the instrument, and the well-being of the body. So yeah, this neck strap. And also there's another one called the bird strap in Japan that is also popular. It's something that doesn't get on the neck like this. It kind of sits nicely on top of the shoulder. So yeah, so the neck strap thing, I'm so happy that one of my students made the purchase, and I hope that I can keep talking about this wonderful strap, because it's very important. And it's something also I want to talk about, is the well-being, the wellness of being a musician, because we have to do so many things, and have to think about so many have to do so many things while the music is going. So I think the eating and the fitness and the equipment and the knowledge of the music. I think they all tie together, and I hope that just one accessory itself would help the players to get better and feel better about themselves and music. So I hope that I can talk a little bit more about that in the future. And yeah, what else? It's all about my saxophone. But I did do a couple of concerts in Japan this year. I was in Okayama in January, and I did 2 concerts in Tokyo. So it's been very lovely. I have been having a great pianist who I've been working. Her name is Mikiko Yamaguchi. And you can see me in some of the YouTube videos that I posted over the course of the past 2 years. But we transcribed, and I've taken a really close look at a lot of the classical pieces like Beethoven, Mozart. I've done Dvorak, and yeah, there's some videos up there, so I hope you can check them out. I think it really works well with the saxophone. Those pieces are originally written for string instruments or cello, like violin. But I think the music of those string instruments work extremely well. And of course, the range is different. And of course, saxophone can go higher and be at an altissimo range, but whether you can play musically and make it sound beautiful is, it's you can be skillful with that, but there are ways to alter some ranges, some octaves down or some octaves up, or being creative with that. So I do a lot of arrangements like that for the saxophone, and that's how I genuinely feel classical saxophone might be able to take off, to get awareness, because saxophone itself hasn't really been recognized as a classical instrument to a lot of people. Slowly in the classical world, but not to the general public. And there are also some great pieces, newer pieces written for the instrument, and I hope that I can keep playing the newer music as well. But yeah, those classical pieces I've been really drawn into, maybe because I've been a classical pianist since I was very little. So yeah, so I hope that I can keep doing the arrangements and transcriptions and show people that, yeah, saxophone is capable of, playing those classical pieces, not just in jazz or pop and EDM. I mean, I would say those genres are awesome, and ideally, I don't want to separate the genre, but it's true that in some ways, the way you perform, the way you play, how the embouchure is being formed, would alter. So, depending on the style, you would have to know what to do. But essentially, music is music, right? So, okay. Well, thanks for asking again. Do you play tenor from time to time? That's an interesting story, because I've been recently approached to purchase a really good tenor, the Super Action, and I'm like tempted. Yeah, I do play the tenor, but I must say my go-to are the soprano and alto, and the reason is travel. um, yeah, yeah, taking 2 instruments, soprano and alto, is already hard enough sometimes. Even one instrument for travel. I have an experience when I was in Spain back in 2019. The airline, they totally did not want me to take in my instrument. They didn't want me to. They didn't allow me to take the alto saxophone in, and that was just so unfortunate what they had to do with me. I really like argued with them how important it is for me to take my alto inside with me. And my case wasn't that big as well. It's I think it was within the size of how the compartment, and it could have easily been put up up there or even under the seat, but they were like, no. So yeah, if it was tenor, then it's going to be another problem. And yeah, but I really definitely want to explore the color of tenor and also baritone too, because yeah, those can give a really nice timbre. And that's something I haven't really invested my time into, especially this past 2 years. I was only with my soprano and alto, and I left my tenor in Los Angeles here. So yeah, hopefully I get to spend more time on tenor. Yeah, I think those cello pieces would work really well on the tenor. But I think it's gonna be too big for me. Yeah, I like the size of the alto and soprano, so I might stick with those two. But in special occasions, I do play tenor. Yeah. Okay, so so this coming weekend is going to be really interesting because there's going to be a NAMM show happening. Have you guys heard of NAMM Show? It's this music convention. Well, NAMM, NAMM is an acronym for National Association of Music Merchants, and it's a trade-only business show catering to domestic and international dealers and distributors. And the regular people are not allowed to go in unless they have a pass. I myself is endorsed by a couple of brands, so they're very generous about giving those passes, and I have been trying to go every time it happened. This is the first time it's happening since, well, in person, since back in 2019 January. It's usually in January. And they tried to attempt doing it this year, but it didn't happen. I think January of 2022 was like, there was another big surge, so they had to cancel it, and now it got moved to from June 5th to June excuse me, June 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they, what they do is that it allows dealers and distributors to see like what's coming up, so any new instruments or new products, and negotiate deals and plan their purchasing for the next 6 months to the year. So it's a very, very important show for everybody to come together from all over the world and do some of those businesses. So, and even for myself as a person who gets endorsed by these brands like Selmer or Selmer, Paris, Van Doren, the American distributors is called Dancer. They're going to be having a booth there, and I haven't seen a lot of the team members from those brands for a while now, since 2019, since it happened. So I look forward to going there. And tomorrow is sort of like a pre-evening, and Van Doren, which is the reed, ligature, and mouthpiece accessory company for the saxophone, clarinet, will be having this jamming night. And I have a couple of my couple of the friends I know will be performing in it. So I look forward to going and also seeing some of the people I haven't seen. So that's coming up weekend. It's going to be in Anaheim Convention Center, right next to the Disneyland. I'm not going to be going to Disneyland though, but we'll be at the convention, Anaheim Convention. So if you happen to be there, say hi. Hopefully I get to reconnect with you. I think that'll be awesome if you're going to be there, and maybe we can catch up. Okay, so that's this coming week, and this summer is going to be also interesting because from June 27th through July 10th for the 2 years, I'll be coordinating this saxophone course called The Art of Classical Saxophone, which is under the California State University Summer Arts Program. And not just the saxophone program, but there's also going to be some arts and theaters, and basically all the art courses will be happening at the same time. And I granted a course to coordinate for the saxophone course. And I'll be inviting some guest artists and college student, high school players, and also adult recreational players if they're interested. I'm super happy if you would be able to apply. So this program basically is designed to propel students into the professional saxophone world. So what means is that you not only get like a masterclass or saxophone instruction, but you will also get some courses which the guest artist will teach you about what's it like to be an artist and how can you get there. That's always the hard part, being a musician. Like, how do you get gigs and how do you become a musician? And the lessons by the guest artist will be conducted in an intense and specialized study to analyze the strength of students' playing skills, and participants will acquire the tools and knowledge to transition from student to professional classical saxophonist. So I think it's going to be a really cool course. And I must say, another perk is that students will get a scholarship. So CSU Summer Arts Program, they have a set scholarship where they can give range between $200 to full tuition. And so if they're going to get, I think students should just apply. Like, once you apply, and you might get a full tuition, and I think that's a wonderful opportunity. I have never heard any arts program or saxophone programs that they would give a full tuition that could cover the instruction. So the housing, though, this course is going to be at the CSU Fresno location. It's in the Central Valley of California. And the housing and meals are about $730, and also and all the participants can get 3 to 5 units of upper division elective credit. So I think this is going to be a really great opportunity. Originally, the deadline for the application was this past Friday, which was on the 27th of May. But now they're extending it till Friday, June 17th. So we have a little over 2 weeks to get you or anybody who is interested in this course to apply. So if you see me hustling and looking like wanting to get more students for this course, that is for the cause. It's going to be a really fun summer. A lot of great artists coming in. We have a brilliant classical saxophone quartet, which was called the Capitol Quartet, and coming in, and also John Holberg from CSU Fullerton, and Ricardo Martinez, who is coming up from University of the Pacific, Van Boone from CSU Fresno, and I'll also have Anton Smirnov, the pianist. He's a wonderful pianist who will be serving as the collaborative keyboardist. So I think anybody who is interested and happen to have time from June 27th through July 10th, I think you should definitely apply for it. So if you know anybody who think this could be of interest, please encourage them. I'll have more information on my website, as well as I'll try to do a little bit of clip about this on my YouTube as well. So do check it out, okay? And after that, I have like a day or two. I'll be coming back for a day or two, and then I'll be flying off to Granada, Spain. I'll be spending there for about 3 weeks until the very beginning of August. And the reason is because CSU Summer Arts, they also have tied up with the city of Granada. And by the way, if you have never heard of Granada, I strongly encourage you to look it up and take a look at their photos or videos, because it's an amazing city with the Andalusian culture and the Alhambra Palace is so beautiful. And just being there, and what an experience to be there for 3 weeks and to really get myself immersed into the city is wonderful. But I'll be there for their music or guitar festival, and CSU Summer Arts has also collaborated with them, and there will be students coming from United States, mainly California State University, going to Spain and spend some time there and taking classes with renowned artists such as Pepe Romero and all kinds of great classical and also flamenco guitar players. And me, on the other hand, you're probably thinking, what are you doing there? But I do have a saxophone and guitar duo called Chika and Scott, with Scott Morris. And we are one of their guest artists, and we'll be doing a concert there. And I have also been appointed to teach guitar students. So that's going to be very cool. I did that back in 2019 to teach guitar players. So you probably are wondering, like, how are you going to be teaching guitar players as a saxophonist? I'm not going to be doing like a one-on-one lesson where they can, because I don't play guitar. Like, I would never dare myself to play a guitar. But basically, I'll be coaching an ensemble and, like quartet. And, I can look at the scores and tell them, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Or even from a perspective as a wind player, I think gives a little different perspective, because for me, or as a wind player, music is all about like air. How to breathe and how to produce the tone it all comes from the air. So, that concept is slightly different. It seems like it's slightly different for guitar players, because it's all here and here. So I'm telling them, music has to breathe, so everybody breathe together. And I can tell them about the musicality, like how do you crescendo into this, how do you decrescendo, how can you make this music more musical, basically. And I'm very fortunate that I had this opportunity to learn about the guitar, but also I also learned how to do this through playing with Scott. We do a lot of arrangements together, and when we do arrangements together, I learned so much about the other instrument, and also even about my instrument too, about the characterization of my instrument, how does it match with the instrument, or how doesn't match with the instrument. And one other thing I have been kind of mean and been doing is that, guitar has multiple positions and fingers that they can use and produce notes. So Scott will be playing some notes, and I'm like, Scott, wait a second, like, stop playing. like, I don't like the way you played that D. Is there any other position where you can play that note and so that it will resonate better?" And, he would play around with it and somehow he'll find a way that, sounds nicer. So, yeah, I give him a different perspective. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but at least to my ears, it sounds great. So that's how I give him instruction or suggestion. And yeah, that's how we arrange music from the very beginning. We arranged the Arpeggione Sonata, the Twinkle Tinkle variations. We've got a record out called Unfettered in 2020 November. And I know it's a terrible time to have an album out, and I wish that it was a normal time so that um, it could have been, like a really huge release, and then had a release party and all that. But we got it out. We got it through a label in London or in UK called Samick Music. And if you have been following my social media, I and also my blog, I may have written something about it. We did record the CD at the Capitol Records in Hollywood, and that was an experience. And it's been a really interesting musical experience doing this duo project with Scott, and we're hoping that we can continue. We are actually working on the second album currently that has been halted back in 2019. Yeah, so hopefully this year, next year, we get to record it and release it. This next coming one is going to be all Spanish music. The previous one, the Unfettered, is all Schubert and Mozart. So if you haven't heard it, it's on all the streaming sites, and also, yeah, unfortunate about Naxos, we are being streamed for free on YouTube. So if you really want to listen to it free, it's on YouTube as well, and you can also find it on my YouTube channel. It's all the way at the bottom, so take a look. And hey, Roman Rolla, thank you so much for complimenting about the third Ferling Etude. I do have other sets of Ferling Etudes I wanted to make a video about over in Kyoto, but I just didn't have time. But hopefully I can put more Ferling Etudes up on the website and on the YouTube. By the way, I love the Ferling Etude. It's a piece. Each of them is not that long. It's about maybe an hour. Maximum will be 2 minutes. And I've been working on that etude from the very beginning of my saxophone study, and it's very musical and very technical. And I think all saxophonists who either jazz or in any genres, they should take a look at it, because there's so much resource in that book that you can learn from. And yeah, I hope that I can write a little bit about it or talk a little bit about some of the pieces, because I think interpretation is really important, and not not everybody has the same kind of interpretation. So yeah, hopefully I can also talk about Ferling, and thank you for commenting, Roman. Okay, so I am going to be in Spain for 3 weeks for the summer, and then right after that, I'll be in Japan for the rest of the August. So yeah, it's going to be a very busy summer, starting from the latest June till the end of August. And yeah, Japan's gonna be super hot during that time. If you have ever been in Japan, you might know, but there's a really strict 4 seasons. And where I am based in, like, the Osaka, Kyoto area, which is the middle section of the main island, it doesn't get super cold, but it can get kind of kind of muggy, and the cicadas are so loud. And it's really unbearable without an AC. But yeah, those are usually the times. August, like July, August has always been the time I spent my time in Japan for the summer. So I learned how to bear it, but yeah, it's like basically like a hot, steamy sauna. And of course, going back there during that time, it affects my saxophone playing because it has so much moisture in the air. It feels so different compared to here. The reeds seem to be really nice over here, I would say. The way it works is that how dry it is makes the reed work much evenly, I guess. Yeah, but in Japan, especially during summertime, it felt like, you know, like the moisture just kept like building up and building up. So that's something I really need to learn how to deal with. And when I'm touring, all climates are different. Sometimes the altitude affects the playing too. You get more tired, but not only the reed reacts differently. So yeah, as a player, you have to really be flexible, but at the same time, assess the situation and be flexible enough to change up and find a good read. So that's what I've been learning over the course of years playing in different locations. Okay, so I think I've been talking a lot. I've been talking for about 41 minutes now, and I hope I'm not boring you guys. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm super happy that I've been back in LA, and yeah, even after this whole summer, I hope to be back and get more work done over here. So yeah, yeah, and I also feel like I might be dividing my time a lot between Los Angeles and in Japan, possibly from here on. So yeah, I gotta make that work and see how my life goes. So yeah, so that's where I am. Yeah, so I think I'm going to terminate this session pretty soon. But if you have any question, please do message me. You can also message me through my website as well, or Facebook or wherever, and hit me up, and I'll be happy to catch up with you. And or if you have any questions about saxophone or playing or anything, I'll be happy to talk. So wonderful. I hope you are doing well. Stay safe. By the way, yeah, it's a really weird thing about this COVID now. That yeah, I don't really feel that that kind of threat anymore as I've been in LA, which is not good. I think we should always be feeling that we could get infected anywhere at this point. But as far as how I was in Japan, everybody wore masks and everybody took the measures to prevent the COVID. And luckily I haven't been sick, and none of my family members got sick. So I guess we were doing the right thing. But yeah, I see a lot of people out, without masks, or, but yeah, but basically, how long can you live like this with mask life? And we can't. Yeah. But seeing the numbers and how it's going, yeah, I think we should take some precautions, which I think a lot of people are still. But I hope you all stay nice and healthy and you have a wonderful summer. And I'm hoping that I can do this live chat in like every week or bi-week, every week or maybe every other week, just to catch up with everybody and also talk about saxophone or any topics that I think about of that week. So that's my plan. So thank you for joining. It's been a wonderful having you here and listening. So all right, have a great rest of the day. Happy June and have a wonderful summer. Okay, until next time. Bye.